Hello, City. Hello, world. And welcome to another installation of the Gospel Jazz Connection here on KTYM.media. It's been an experience in here, and you'll get to talk to the hosts today, the three of them. They've been a gas. You would have to be in here to appreciate some of the humor that's been going on today. Because talk about that government shutdown and that restart, the kickback, and the this and the that that's been going on today. We had a little something like that in here in-house. So it's just been wild. But you know what? We're having a good time because this is the Gospel Jazz Connection. I'm D-Nice. See me? I got my hand all in front of the camera when I'm turning and stuff like that. It's been one of them kind of days. So we're going to have fun with it. We're just going to enjoy ourselves, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is what we do each and every week. We sit back and we bring you the best in smooth jazz to soothe the savage beast, because I know it's been a crazy weekend. It's been a crazy week for you guys. And you know what? One good thing we can say today, and I don't know if we're dating the show, but we have a temporary, looks like we're going to have a temporary out of the madness and into paying some of the people again. Not only that, beginning of the week we had the teachers go back to school. I'm glad, because my grandson, he was loving it. After about a week out, I think his brain started to go to mush. So I got to be happy about him going back. I am. So teachers, welcome back. Kids, quit playing. Get your education. Because I may need to come to you sooner or later to get whatever that your specialty is. And I don't want you to say, oh, that's the day I missed school. That won't work for me. Meantime, between time, this is the Gospel Jazz Connection. And now I'm going to veer over to our host for today, and they're going to tell you a little bit about themselves and what they do. But they got that beautiful, you can see it right there, they got that beautiful Wakanda behind them, so they got a great little backdrop, and now they're acting like their friends. I see Troy kind of bobbing in. Hey. Okay, there you go. So now you guys are on. So hello, welcome.
Hey. Wait a minute, can you?
How y'all doing out there?
Hey, D-Nice.
That's Linda. Give us your names, because we don't even... Okay.
I'm Linda Coleman Willis.
All right. Mm-hmm. Troy Box Mason or Elder Troy, you know.
Mm-hmm. Any one of those, huh?
Yeah, anyone.
Okay. Just don't call you late for dinner, right?
That's right.
That's right.
I like to eat.
I know that. Okay. and down in the corner pocket, we have who?
Many people are asking.
Okay. Yeah, well, tell them what it is then.
You know, at times I even ask.
Don't be.
Do that Rokanda thing. You don't...
That's funny.
The Kerry Sims.
Yeah, the Kerry Sims. Okay, gotcha. All right, so meantime, in between time, guys, we're working out all the kinks, but welcome to the show. Linda, especially you. Thank you. It's been a long time coming. You know what? Linda doesn't talk about herself too much, and so I don't mind telling you that this lady here, she's been around the world, a public speaker, a life coach, a motivational speaker. She does everything, man. She's been doing it for years. She held down for years. She was involved with the business community in Inglewood. She's just heading up things and doing some things. And then she's a wife and a mother and a grandmother. Man, and that's not even 1/3 of a resume. So, Linda, welcome. Talk about a little bit about what you do and how you do it. And let the people get to know who you are, since you're a part of this team, and we love it.
Thank you, D-Nice. I am a talk show host, the TV talk show host, and I've done radio in the past, the Motivational Power Hour. But today I'm a business coach, and I work with small business owners and entrepreneurs who want to increase their business, increase their income, who want to take their business to the next level. I've written 8 books. I worked for the Obama campaign for 3 years. And so I've been around a little bit. I am excited to be here to talk to your audience, to share my wisdom and knowledge wherever I can, to help people move themselves forward, because that's what other people in my life has done for me. So I am I like to lift other people up, help them live their dreams.
And we enjoy that, and thanks for coming. But also, like I said, you do a show, a live television show every once a month, and talk about a little about what you do on that and the concept of what you do on that show.
The show is the Millennial Journal. And what we do is we bring millennials and boomers and Gen X together, and we have open, honest conversations about the differences and how we can reconnect with each other and how we can support this generation of millennials, how we can actually get to know them and understand them and find out what their weaknesses and their strengths are and how we can help to move them forward and also how they can help us. We don't want to leave a whole generation of young people disconnected from us. So we spend our time really getting deep with our Gen X and our boomers and our millennials, and especially the millennials. I know everyone say they're different, and they are, but they said the same thing about us. And so we want to connect. So our show is all about connecting.
And you can always see her show afterwards on AT&T Viewverse, and it's also on Spectrum 36 in the West Hollywood and the Hollywood area. But also we put it up on YouTube too. When it's finished with it, it's on 4 Point Media LLC. That's FOUR Point POINT Media MEDIA LLC, and you can see
nice. If there's a millennial out there that's listening and they want to tell their story, they want to share their story, they want to talk with us open and honestly. We don't criticize, we don't condemn, we don't judge. We just have open, honest communication.
Yeah. So we'll have an email address there. You guys go get your pencils and papers right now. Quit playing. Ink pen, in fact, because they're going to give a lot of good information today. You're going to want to connect with these guys. These three people on the other side of what you're looking at the cameras right now, they're very powerful and they do a lot of things. The two outside young men, the bookends we call them, they are musicians and they've played with some of the hottest musicians that the world has seen and heard of. They've written music, they produced, directed music for other artists, major artists. So, that's what they do. So you really want to, because before this is over with, they're going to be able to give you their contact information so you can bug them and not me. Did I say that? Did I say that?
Wow.
So
You're not bugging.
We want to make sure that you're able to connect with these guys because they're a good wealth of information. So right now, get your pen and paper out because you're going to need it. All right, folks, thanks for joining us today. Today we have reached another level of method to the madness. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Okay, in this political arena, let's call it method to the madness. And today we had a compromise that's going to open up the government for 3 weeks or so. That's what they're saying.
3 weeks.
Yeah. Okay, you hear what I'm saying? So at least the workers, the federal workers, are going to get their money. Because, thank you, Lord, I was watching the news, and now the most people that are being affected right now, that are speaking out about it, are our air traffic controllers.
Oh, yeah.
Let me explain for the people not understanding what they do. They clear the airways so that you can fly in and out.
That's right.
Of the airport. Mm-hmm. And if you got some mad people that are controlling the airwaves for flights in and out, that ain't going to be too good a look. I'm just saying. So it's good that they get back, and then you've got the TSA that the people screen to make sure that there's no guns and drugs and craziness on the planes. It's not good to have them people mad at you either.
That's right.
And the list goes on and on of people. Food inspectors. Okay, that's what I'm talking about. So y'all like to eat. You can relate to them. Okay, so no one is inspecting the food now. So you don't know if it's dog meat, kangaroo meat, or whatever. I'm just saying.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
Well, actually, they are still inspecting the food.
Okay.
They're mandatory, but they're not getting paid.
But that's what. But listen to what I'm saying. What you just said.
That's
now,
the point.
How much effort you putting into something when you're not getting paid?
All depends on your character.
That's what I'm saying. Now, not everybody's got stellar character, right?
That's right.
Okay, so with that being said, folks, today's show is called Method to the Madness. And so,
it's a lot
you guys,
of madness.
I'm turning it over to you, and you guys can just kind of like bring to bear some of the things that you've confronted and some of the things. And ladies and gentlemen, on this show, we don't just bring up issues, but we come with some solutions. So these guys are going to be bringing up issues of things that they're seeing, and they're going to come with at least 1 or 5 or 6 different ones for you to choose from, because we don't just say this is the one way to do it.
Right.
That's not what we do. We give you a choice because you got freedom of choice, right? Mm-hmm. So let's just start kicking it off, guys, and that's the theme for today. That's your thing, the method to the madness. I'm out.
Well, since Linda, ladies first.
Yes.
Linda, you're a business owner, and as a business owner, business coach,
entrepreneur,
how would you coach?
How would I coach in this situation?
How would you coach a business owner? How would you coach them?
The first thing I would do is to
That was nice.
Got one of his fans calling in already, huh?
Exactly.
Controversial breeds
This ain't my
viewership. Oh, that's Pastor's phone, huh?
Yeah.
You know he's going to stay busy. Yeah. So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, go
You
ahead,
got-
Linda.
Okay, hot talkers. Go ahead, Linda.
How I coach my business people is I help them to identify what the true problems are, because what you see a lot of times is not the issue. Just because the media is talking about it, it's not the issue. And so I help them to really identify what the issues are, and then we talk about what they've done in the past and whether it worked or whether it did not work, and obviously it didn't work or they wouldn't be talking to me. And then we look at, okay, so what do we do? What is it that you need to do? So I am a solutions person. I help them with ideas that they can put into effect that can help them in their business today, as opposed to what they were doing last year that didn't work, or what they may be doing now that's not working. And so I find deciding what the problem is the first step. And sometimes they're the problem, and I have to help them to work through that issue as well.
Right,
If you own a
But-
business and you're the biggest problem,
I know, but in the context of the today's economic swells, where the people aren't getting paid, we know what the problem is. The workers aren't getting paid now.
Oh, I thought you asked me about my business.
No, no, no.
Okay, so I
No,
have-
it's all
I have-
we're
yes.
we're trying
Yeah,
to get that all together
yes.
with
I have some-
what's going on now.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. The first thing is that people have to look at reality, what's real and what's not, because I don't believe that a wall is going to solve all of our problems.
Of
So if
course
that
not.
is for real, then get real with yourself. What is it that I need to do to make sure that I'm doing everything I can do? And I challenge the media to stop challenging Trump. That's what he wants you to do, is challenge him, or say Pelosi is beating Trump. She's outshining Trump. She's outdoing Trump. I think that's agitation. I think we should be looking for solutions. How do we get these two people to a table to sit down and talk honestly about what's the best thing for this country? Not what's the best thing for him. Why is that
Y'all
funny?
can't see this look. Just give it on camera.
That's okay. That's okay. You don't have to agree, but you asked for my opinion, and I'm giving it.
Exactly.
I'm like
Uh-oh.
Pelosi. I have
Come
an
on.
opinion. I don't mind sharing it, because I've been in my business for 20 years. I started out in real estate, did very well in real estate, moved on to speaking, writing, coaching, consulting, and radio, TV, and have
But
been
outside of
successful
you,
in all of it.
exactly. But outside of you, there's forces going on that you have no control over. Those people didn't wake up on a Tuesday and say, "Oh man, my business isn't working." Business, i.e., whatever their last name is, and they working for providing income for that corporation, their family. They didn't say, "I have these problems going to happen." They didn't know that's going to happen.
No, they didn't know it was going to happen. And so what I'm saying to them is, what's the problem? Identify the problem, and then find a solution. And it's not the ones that necessarily that the media or Donald Trump is throwing out there to them. We're not helpless in all of this. What are the solutions to the problems? If you're speaking out, they're going to listen. And I think that he's already listening, because how did they come to a decision today? Because
so
people
you saying
are
just don't
speaking
turn
out.
over and just let it happen?
No, you don't never just turn over and let
Exactly.
it happen.
I
You
agree.
take charge. No, never turn over and let it happen. But also, don't get so angry to all there is anger, and you're not doing anything about it but complaining and screaming and yelling. That doesn't work either. Solutions, strategies. I'm a strategist.
Right.
That's my greatest strength. I'm a strategist. We find out how we're going to get it done. I've done it for myself. I do it for my clients.
Okay, Linda. So since we're going through this now, what is your strategy? What would we do? I know what. But what would we do now as we got these things going on? I heard you said, and I agree with you, don't get mad because of the things that's going on, because when you're mad, you're not 100%, you're distracted. I got that. So what do you think we could do now as business owners, entrepreneurs or whatever, right now to cover ourselves while this madness is going on?
We can unite, for one thing. We can get a business strategist. We can talk to a business coach or consultant. We can find out what other business people have done in the same situation that worked. We can find out what's working now. We can also find out what will work with this president.
Okay, so you know what's working now, right? You're getting this information now that you know what's working
somewhat
now, or we're in the mix of that right now.
We're in the mix of that right now. And
would you mind sharing some of what or you want to hold back until you get all the puzzle together, all the pieces together to the puzzle?
No, it's so far it seems to be with our president. What's working is severe pain, but you don't want to get to severe pain.
Yeah, but it's harming the rest of. See, my thing is it's really mess. It's like if it don't hit them first, you know what I mean? It's really not a problem. We have this pain already. We got people. I mean, they're not eating, but they are coming together, as you said. Bringing in food to the job. You got other people that's helping out. But how long that's going to be before those covers are bare?
But that is other people taking actions in which they should. We're talking about the business people who are in the midst of this, or the people who have been laid off and who are suffering through this.
That's what I'm talking about. They're coming together with that.
That the president didn't move until his people
he started feeling
came to him. Right, he started feeling
exactly.
it. Right. So they've been feeling it way before him. So coming together and making decisions for yourself is the thing to do. He is not your God. He's not your father. He's not the end all be all.
Right.
He shouldn't have that kind of power.
Well, he already knows that his program is to divide. And what I've seen of him is that he's never really seen a hard time. And what he considers a hard time, he's still got a few million in his pocket. But, I mean, the way he does things is like, you got this hammer, and we go into negotiations, and bam, he hits you in the head. Then he goes, okay, are you ready to negotiate? And then he go bam again. It seems like you said, it seems like he has to deal with pain. But this is a person that don't care about pain. But he don't care about nobody except himself.
It should not be all about him. I'll give you an example.
It shouldn't be, but he's in that. He's the way he said it himself. I'm the most powerful man, on the planet. Yada.
What makes him powerful? What makes him powerful? The fact that he is president of the United States of America.
Not to me.
But that's my point.
Not to me, because there's two forms of government here. I mean, come on.
That's my point. He's not as powerful as he think he is.
Right.
He's only as powerful as we allow him to be.
Right,
and we are allowing him to do all kinds of things, and it blows my mind because I did not know that one man could have that kind of power in the United States of America. I thought this was a democracy.
But it's good. It's good, though, because everything that's happening, there's a reason for everything. And it's exposure. See, a lot of people didn't know all these things, just like you. Right. And you're a professional woman, and you've been doing this for a while. Then all of a sudden, you're like, wait a minute. He had this much power? How come we couldn't kick him out? But see, what it is an awakening also to me of what not to do. But we're in it right now, so we need people like you or strategists to come out and speak up and talk about this right now. You know what I mean? There's a lot of things that's going on. I'm sure we all didn't know he had that much power, but guess what he did? He knew he had that. And he came in there just like...
He doesn't play fair, and
he never
play
did.
By the same rules that we're playing by.
That's correct.
I'm not a political person, but I entered the political arena because I wanted to work for Obama, and I did in Ohio. And I learned hard lessons in that environment coming from California, going to Ohio. And I think one of the best lessons I learned is when it was the hardest. I stood up. They thought I was going to go running back to California. I stood up, and I had people tell me, you should just want to go home. I'm like, why should I leave?
Because
I know why I'm here.
That's a give up attitude.
Right. I know what I'm doing.
See, you come from, I was on the show with you one time, I was honored. Your generation comes from a fighting generation.
Okay.
We talked about earlier, you can't just lay down. Now, here's my statement question. Isn't the president just a puppet? Is he a puppet? Is somebody else running this behind the scenes? And we're seeing the figurehead.
If he wasn't president, I would agree. He may be a puppet, but they have been able to place that puppet in a position of power.
Exactly.
And that takes on a whole new dimension. But he's only as powerful as we allow him to be.
That's right.
But they've already released they gave up all that power with the other presidents. Bush Senior, Bush Jr., and Obama.
But they're playing. See, they're playing by the
He's
rules here. This guy is just doing. He's doing him.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? He's
now this is all our opinion.
Right now.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's playing this out in front of the camera.
Yeah, he's doing him.
And it's not just. It's just. I mean, if you notice, media is just sitting back now and saying little bitty things. Phrases here or getting directly to the point, and he's saying what he wants. He's doing what he wants, and I've never seen all this executive signing just to get his. I've never seen all that stuff.
But you know what? Here in this one here. Okay, so we've talked a while. We know we got some madness. Okay, but here's where I'm at right now. We're talking to people, man, that they now see it. You woke them up now. So what do they do about it? In a position where you got to go to work every day, and now you're going back to work, and so you're behind the curve because everybody's playing a catch up. Linda, you being that you've coached entrepreneur, you've seen this look. How do we attack now the next phase, which is getting back online? That's what we want to instruct people on how to get back. We know what we're dealing with, so how do we get back, Linda?
I believe that they played their hand correctly,
right?
That they are back online. He says until three more weeks, I guarantee you it'll be longer.
Of course.
You know why? Because he doesn't have a plan.
Right.
He's the one without a plan.
So what do we do
and they're no longer playing his game.
Right.
He's no longer the person in charge.
Right.
And so when something happens, especially when you feel like you're down and everyone else thinks you're down, it's time for you to step up. You don't have to beg this man for your job. What would happen if every single person, 800,000 people, didn't come back to work? Where would the United States of America be?
That's true.
He doesn't have the power. They have the power. They don't know they have the power, and they're not using their power. Now, I granted they have unions, and they have done some really great things. I think they've done some great things. But until he was threatened, which could have happened a lot sooner, he didn't move.
Right.
He didn't move, and it didn't have anything to do with Democrat and Republican. It had to do with people taking a stand.
Right. So I'm talking about the average Joe right now that's just going back to. We already know the politics. We're leaving that alone. We're talking about how do we as an individual survive today with everything going on.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we're getting ready to lose. Real estate's going down. I mean, the stock market is so messed up. We are in a depression, whether they say it or not. We're in a depression.
Oh, yeah.
So all of the real estate, real estate is going to start falling in. So how do we, as average Joe and average Jane, how do we deal with the fall? How do we get back on track? Forget the government. How do individually we get back on track?
Average Joe and average Jane has to look at their own situation, because it's not like one. How do you say it?
One show fits all.
Fits all. They have to look at their own situation and get some professional help. Get a coach. Get a consultant. If it's financial, get a financial advisor. If it's medical, get a medical. And you've got to get a professional involved and say, these are our problems. And sometimes that's not the problem. The good thing about bringing an outsider in, is that sometimes they can look at the situation and see what the real challenge is, and then give you some real solutions to your real problems. And a lot of times that will help those people begin to think a little bit different, to act a little bit different. I hear people say training doesn't work. Yeah, it may not change their minds, but it usually changes their behavior. Changing behavior usually eventually change how you think. And that's where where all that begins. And so talking to someone who's been there, done that, or at least is an expert in that field. And I think that's what happened with a lot of these people. When other people start stepping in and say, you don't have to be helpless. You don't have to accept this. You don't have to lie down because someone said this. That's what happened way back when, African Americans were standing up.
Let me ask a quick question. When was the last time America had a revolution?
I think they're in a revolution now.
No.
What do you describe? You mean a physical fight? What do you
Revolution
call
where
a
change
revolution? Oh, when things really change significantly.
When was the last revolution?
I would say the 50s.
The Martin Luther
What do
King?
you say? What do you say is the
Civil
last
rights was a resolution?
That was a resolution.
Yeah, that was definitely a
conflict
revolution.
What's the one prior before to that?
Jim Crow? I don't know.
That ain't no revolution.
Okay, what's the revolution then? What you tell me? I want to hear what you have.
Yeah,
to
we're
say.
learning now. So
Yeah,
you tell
yeah.
me.
Yeah, you tell me.
Yeah.
Grace us with your wisdom.
Dr.
Yeah.
Carey,
Well,
tell
ladies,
me.
B. Carey Sanders is about to
Okay,
speak.
I got you.
Okay, all right, go ahead.
America has been basically rocked to sleep. I'm talking about our citizens. To where when there's issues for change, and change needed to happen decades ago, we fell asleep on it.
So are you saying we haven't changed at all?
You talking about we as an Americans?
As citizens, you're talking about the Joe
As
citizens.
citizens, how many decades? I mean, things have just gone to status quo, and they have made every decision contrary to the American people, just for themselves. Decades, we can't even count them. It's been going on. Various presidents.
There's
have
always
signed
gonna be a
executive-
fight.
It should be, but we haven't been. We have not been fighting. We're not even-
It
No,
depends.
I'm not talking about
It depends on
as-
what arena you fight.
I'm
in.
not talking.
Right,
I said
exactly.
American as a whole. I'm not talking about division or separation like they have done successfully. You want to make something weak, divide it up.
Of
You got the
course.
black issues. You got the gay issues. You got different issues. Those aren't revolutions. You know what I mean? I'm talking about
that's
what
why we ask you to define
exactly where the
revolution.
continent, when the continent, where there's like our forefathers in America, that really, it didn't really, well, it sort of helped us, but those kind of revolutions where there's basically a war
Bloodshed.
in America.
Well,
I'm not
any
asking
revolution
for it. I'm talking about that
and a
level of
revolution,
intensity.
any revolution, you're going to have bloodshed somewhere.
Yeah, but I'm saying, so this
I'm just
revolution,
trying to see where
whether
you're
it's mental, physical, or
Right,
psychological,
right.
it's always a war going on.
Yes,
but it
there's
just
always.
depends on how you approach that. I mean, we're not saying that you're advocating just going out there and picking up something and marching or whatever. Small pockets when they had the teacher strike, they went out there and struck for change and they got change. When Martin was marching, the change comes with people saying, okay, I'm not going to take this no more. But I'm
That
talking about
was-
as far
that
as doing the revolution, no, you're not going to get enough. There's too many segments today. And too many fragments today to bring them all up under a revolution of what? One
Yeah,
nation under
exactly.
God. Never was one nation under God. Go ahead, Linda.
But it's not necessary
Right.
to bring them all
Right.
up.
Exactly.
Otherwise,
Right.
We wouldn't have gay marriage today if they had to wait for everyone to come together
Right.
to agree.
Right.
So I don't think it's necessary. But I do believe. Do you remember The Color Purple? Oprah Winfrey's
Ooh,
words. All my life I has had to fight.
Lord.
Right.
Every time I walk in the room,
every
women
time I-
watching that, I walk right out. 'cause-
All my life, I has had to fight. So you talking to the wrong little girl here, a little black girl from Texas. You know,
She said, "The Color Purple." You better
Hey,
be quiet,
but
boy.
You're saying that you're
But when you talk to African American women, all our lives, we've had to fight. We've had to fight in every arena, and we've grown stronger because of that fight, not weaker. I think you get weaker when you lay down, when you expect someone else to come along and fight that battle for you. But if you stand up and fight, you're going to grow some kind of way in strength, in wisdom, in knowledge. Some kind of way there's some growth. And I think that's what happens now. And I think, like you said, we have the Me Too movement now. Those people are as different and diverse as you can get. But they're all women. They're coming together. Well, not all women. They're men, too.
Right,
But
right.
what I'm saying is there's an issue that brought them together. Now, everybody don't agree with them. Black lives matter. All lives matter. Sure, all lives matter. But there's a group, Black Lives Matter over here. All lives matter over here. So you're going to always find that there's going to be someone to challenge what it is that you're trying to do. But you got to stay strong. You've got to make the decision that what you're fighting for is important enough for you to do what it is you need to do every single day. And it doesn't matter if it's a revolution or if I get up every morning and say, this is how I'm going to live my life, and no one else is going to dictate to me how I'm going to live it.
Right. Well, let me ask you a question. Carrie, are you getting to the point, let me see, are you like saying, okay, like doing, around the 50s, 60s, and when we were pushing, and there was a lot of change, like doing I'm one of them. I was born during the Vietnam era. I'm dating myself, y'all. So I'm not. What is the point? I know you got something. I'm looking at you. I'm not. I'm kind of fuzzy where you at, but I kind of see where you're going. Can you finish your statement?
Yeah, he's doing a teaching moment. We want to find out what the teaching moment is.
I want to know what you. I mean, are you saying? I mean, because I kind of understand what you're saying. When we were just strong and we were moving and all these things was moving, and then all of a sudden it started to fade a little bit, and then because then we start having this, and we were able, as the country was growing financially. What are you saying, that we got soft, or did we just stop, or it got so good we just laid down and became couch potatoes? Exactly. Now I can understand where you're coming from with that.
So are we talking about African Americans?
No, we're talking about people.
Americans?
Yeah.
No. See, I'm gonna say Americans, but see, here's my issue. The African American issue is not over yet.
Oh, isn't it?
We have not brought resolution to that situation. We have so many battles, so many points of contention just in our land.
Mm-hmm.
And we have spending more money going out, funding conflicts other places, being in everything across the planet.
Mm-hmm.
But we can't feed our people here when the government so-called shut down?
Well,
really? Hang on, really? No, I don't think that's true.
But we shouldn't have to depend on the government to do anything for. When you find that they're not helping you, you gonna die or do your own.
Today,
you find a way.
I had an opportunity to talk to a Latino guy that was mopping. You know how here in California they mop where the cars were, and so I said, you know what? I said, we're coming to a point in time where we're going to need each other. I said, we barely even talk to each other.
Well, we being here.
I'm
saying growing up, I'm saying here being California. I mean, we was always together. So at one point, it started we started to separate from each other, and that started out that started through the penitentiaries and came out by design.
Right, exactly.
It's not like we just hey man, I don't like you no more, and then this and that and the other. It didn't start like that. It was implemented in little by little. You know what I mean? Like a drug.
But you know what? We're going beyond that because, like I said, today the wars are fought on social media. You can get on social media and not even know nobody and cut them to a core. You got these kids jumping off of buildings and committing suicide behind social media wars. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about, here's the problem we're dealing with today. People didn't have any money within the last few weeks because of this shutdown. It affected everybody, okay? And now that we're finally getting a little breath, how do we take that breath without overeating? I mean, if you don't feed a man for 6 months and suddenly he gets food in front of his face, he can just overamp or whatever. You got to learn to do it in moderation. So how do we start that journey in moderation, Linda? So how do we do that? We know
that's why we need that coach.
Yeah, but revolutions, we're not there yet. We don't need a revolution yet.
Right.
We need a revolution right now. This is or a revelation.
That revelation. Go ahead.
You do not. You look at the situation you found yourself in, and you make a commitment never to be in that situation again. And you do not spend every dime until you can't last for two months. You look at what happened to you.
Budget.
Hey,
budget.
You can call it whatever you want to. The budget scares you away. If I look at my life and say, this man stopped paying me, and my whole life stopped, and I couldn't do nothing until he decided that I could do it, that he was going to pay me again. My first commitment to me would be that will never happen again. I will not be in that situation.
Right.
So you go back and you look at your situation. I don't care if you make $10 a month. Save 10% of that.
Right.
Whatever it is. Make sure that you don't give your life over to someone else who can dictate to you how you live it every day, or how you care for your children, or how you care for your family. I'm not blaming these people.
Right. No,
trust
I
me.
got you. I hear you.
hope I'm giving them a revelation, because
Yes.
I've been there. I raised 2 daughters as a single mother. I went into real estate for that very reason. I'm looking around, and I had a college degree that wasn't paying me enough to take care of me and my 2 daughters. I went into real estate and started selling real estate.
Right,
and
right.
people told me, and this was in the 80s, they told me you're going to starve to death, and I didn't.
No.
And I'm not saying that everybody is me. All I'm saying is, no matter how small you think your window is, you should own a part of it. How big it is, you should own a part of it.
Right.
You should not ever allow a man to say, today you don't eat. Not in 2018,
That's
not in
correct.
the 20th century.
That's correct.
And that's exactly what Donald Trump did to thousands of people.
Well, see,
Why
Linda,
would somebody get that
what
place?
Linda is talking about, me knowing as I just say in the Jewish community, they teach their children right that quickly. They have jars, and when you get paid, this goes here, this goes here,
Right.
and this goes here. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to McDonald's, at this time, if you're not doing that, go ahead and start making your own lunch. You know what I mean? And then you're going to start to save some things. And then, because you used to eating steak and all that, now the job ain't there no more.
Right,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? Maybe you need to go to turkey after that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So,
or spam.
yep.
You're right. Well, whatever it takes. I mean, but you're right. Whatever it takes. But you got to do it.
And
You got to have it.
You don't have to be rich to do that. See,
Right.
people think, and you don't have to be rich to get a professional. There are so many opportunities to talk to people who can give you some advice about finance, about insurance, all kinds of things that can help you be in control of your life. Because the saddest thing for me was to watch people on TV crying and saying, I can't do this. I can't do this. And like I said, I'm not blaming them.
Right.
But I know that we need to be educating people on the idea of you are in charge of you. And there should be not another man on earth, not an earthly person. There's a person who has control, but not an earthly person to tell you that you can't feed your children.
Right. No, that's a good thing.
all
You
these,
gotta-
yeah. Well, go ahead.
Hang on for a second.
No.
hang
I
on
was
for a
going to
second.
say all these
Hang on for a second,
principles
hang on for a
are in the
second.
Bible.
Hang
Also,
on
I
for a
just wanted to
second.
let y'all know that.
Exactly.
You're
But
right.
check this out.
Go ahead, Gary.
That's all around economics, money. They shut off the the welfare.
EBT?
They shut all that off. That's money. 'Cause I know of people who sell that for money.
Right.
They shut that off. What do?
You
have no job skills.
The concept doesn't change. You have to understand going in. I've been on welfare.
Come on.
And I decided I wasn't staying on welfare. It did not
on.
suit I went to college. And let me tell you something. I'm not blaming people. I hope I'm educating people and opening their eyes and saying whatever your situation is today, it doesn't have to be that tomorrow. It doesn't have to be that next week. It doesn't have to be that next year. So if you're right now on welfare and if all you're getting is stamps, what can you do now to make sure that next year maybe you get more stamps, or maybe you don't need stamps, or maybe you're doing something different? Now, there are people who are disabled. There are veterans, boy. I love my veterans. I support
Well,
disabled
thank you.
veterans because there are people who can't
Yes.
do any better.
Right.
Our government is responsible.
That's true.
And we should be holding them responsible. We should not let them off the hook. But I'm talking about anybody that's even a little able-bodied and of sound mind,
Let me
that
say
you
this.
can do
Check this
more than you've ever done by taking control of your own life and
Exactly.
saying, I am not allowing people to use me like I'm on a checkerboard.
But
And I
in
hope
this
that's the
climate-
lesson that people will learn from this.
Right.
In this
One
climate-
man shut them
Shut them
down.
down, right.
Okay.
I
In
love this
climate-
conversation.
In this climate, there's no fishing holes.
What does that
What
mean?
you talking about?
That's what I'm talking about.
No fishing holes.
For an example, coming from the Northwest, different understanding.
Oh, he's talking Oklahoma,
Hunting.
Texas.
Oh, I was about to
Oh,
say because
yeah.
you can go right down there to Alondra Park.
Hang on.
Okay, and I'm
Not this-
an
wait,
angler,
oh, yeah,
man,
they
and you can go
put
down there
them
to
there.
Alondra
Hang on,
Park.
hang on. Hang on,
It's
hang on.
called urban fishing.
I
You want me
didn't
to
see
show you the
nobody
spots?
over
I'll
there
tell
fishing.
you.
I know you didn't.
You understand?
We're too
Check this out.
sophisticated to
Check this out.
fish.
That's
They
my
don't-
point.
they don't-
The
they may
American way. This is what I said
They
earlier.
may not be aware.
This is what I'm saying earlier. You can walk in with all the wisdom, knowledge of you can be in a box, even in your coaching, and you're coaching the same concepts and principles within a system.
Right, I
You
understand
got
what
to
you're
break
saying.
out of that system. I remember in 2000, I was working at a company. It's been around since 1900 something, right? They said we're recession proof, blah 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 blah, but it wasn't bad management proof. They were leveraged 90 some
They
percent.
didn't get professional help. That's my point.
Wait, no, because they were so arrogant,
Yeah.
Right.
and they had the American way. They thought we're gonna eat on the fat of the cow, right? 200 employees without a job. A company that was around since 1902,
Yeah.
whatever. Now here's the point: when you put all your eggs in the same basket, what happens? You can't eat.
You watch the basket.
No,
That's
you
real
don't
talk.
put everything in the same basket.
You make sure if
develop-
if all your eggs are in that basket,
Get 'em
you
out.
better watch that
Get 'em
basket.
out.
Right.
Get
Exactly.
them out, but get them out. Here's the thing:
Yeah, you get them out.
we don't teach practical stuff anymore. What about planting a garden? What about learning how to hunt?
Well,
What about learning how to eat off the land? Seriously.
No, that's good. That
In
I
theory.
cannot say, or you cannot say everybody. My mom got a garden. I mean, I eat her greens and everything. But
tastes
see, I
good.
come from that from that era. But like you saying, planting the garden. There are plenty gardens out here.
There used to be community
Okay,
gardens.
Right.
and not
There
only that,
used
and
to
like
be.
and like a
No, there isn't.
Well, I'm saying you're saying used to be,
There's
but see
laws
that's
here that you
but here's the
cannot
point.
plant a garden here.
Here's the point. Leonard's saying stop waiting on everybody and do it yourself.
What do you do?
What do you,
It depends on
It
the
depends on-
situation and
yeah.
the circumstance.
Right.
That-
But the thing is that you have to first develop the mindset and the
That's
mentality to
it.
say, I am not going to sit back and wait.
Right,
It
I'm
doesn't
going to
matter
survive.
if tomorrow I go home and my husband is laid off and I'm laid off and we have all of this responsibility. I can decide to sit back, or I can decide, okay, what do we do? What's the step? What's step one? What's step two? What can we do? What
Right,
can
right,
we
right.
do? And then other people coming in and helping. But what can we do? And chances are, if you've been responsible all along the way, it's going to be easier for you to do something. If I've been paying my bills, right, then if I've been responsible, it's going to be a little easier for me to do something.
Right.
Right,
Must
right,
be
right.
And again, I'm not blaming people. I'm hoping in everything that I do, as you know, D Nice, in my books, everything I do is to educate and
Right.
empower people
Right.
to move forward, especially my people,
Right,
to
right.
move forward, because a lot of people have that victim mentality.
Right,
We're
right,
not
right,
victims.
right.
We're not victims, and so we have to understand that we can stand up. You can always stand up, and 800,000 people can knock Donald Trump off the orbit if they chose, but they're afraid they may lose their jobs, or they need whatever. Whatever reasons, but they have the real power. The real power is in numbers.
Right, and you got to get. But like I said, I was about to bring up the point to where you're an award-winning author. You've been writing bestsellers. Now, the one that really just took it by storm at a time when you dropped it was the right time for it. Was Loving Yourself First, and that's the core of it. If you don't know who you are,
Amen.
then you can't get anybody to speak into you, because what are they speaking to?
Exactly.
Painting a wall that's not there is never going to count. I don't care what color designs or color you want to paint it.
Right.
It's got to be a wall there first. So therein lies people that are just starting back on their jobs again. They got to figure out what it is about them that they need to change so that they can adapt. And that's what you're saying. Not everybody has a garden availability. They're in apartments. They're in different places where they can't get a garden.
Well-
They can't get. But listen, as you know who you are, and you know your weak point is that you're not aggressive enough,
Correct.
or you don't speak up for yourself. See, these are things and patterns that can be changed, because that's all they are. They're patterns. You know what I'm saying? So if you learn and you know how to love yourself and appreciate yourself first, then you can start motivating the move.
Well, that's what I was going to say. That's what Linda is saying. Look,
Exactly.
I come from the school that you have a job and a hustle, and your hustle. And what she's saying is, don't lay down.
Right.
Even though you may not have that garden, there's something you can do. Maybe you bake cakes and you do all that type of stuff. That's just hustle on the side. Sell them little cakes or whatever as you out there doing what you're doing. Or if you know how to change brakes and somebody need this or that, That's where you're saying, well, we come together
Right.
in times like this. You know what I mean? And like you're saying, if they don't want to come together and they're still mentally enslaved and blocked,
Then they got to find out how to do it. See,
just like you said,
you're preaching. No, but she's preaching to the choir.
Right.
I'm just backing the amen section to what she's saying.
Yes.
But on the other side of here, we have the conflict resolution coming from Brother Carey right here.
Exactly.
And so, as she's saying, yeah, you bring in some good points, but man, you're not going to be able to recruit the whole nation, the whole world, the whole community into seeing it your way. But if everybody stops and says, okay, let me change my way of thinking, let me change my approach,
See, now what I haven't said,
go ahead.
What I haven't said
Uh-huh.
is the need for community. See, individually is cool. You know what I mean? And I'm saying, I'm listening to various. I got all kinds of friends that's involved in all kind of things. You know, I believe in coaching. I grew up under a coach in my life, so the concept of coaching is something that I do. Here's the thing: if I give you this system and I tell you, here, you can only play in the box. This is the way. This is the rules are in this box. So I look at this box, and I'm holding up my phone, and I'm saying that this is the only way. This is the system that you are to survive in. As a human being, as God created us, He gave us this whole planet. There's so many opportunities outside of this one system. If they crash the dollars, what you gonna do? When there's the money, don't mean nothing. People don't even believe that would happen here in America.
Right.
But let's get back to your one.
So-
There's no such thing as one system. We can play. People can push you into a system.
You know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yes.
That's what I'm saying. So if you're within a system that you cannot function in, get out.
Right.
You need create
Right.
your own system.
Right.
Find a
Right.
new system.
But here's the thing.
Disrupt that system.
But he's saying how many people, and
Wait,
like you
hang
said,
on, hang on, I'm not
they're
finishing my thought.
scared.
I said, listen.
Some was scared.
Here's the whole thing. When I used to wrestle, I call myself going out, the principle, I'm talking about the principle of lack of preparedness. You got to be prepared before the situation happens. You ever talk to someone that has mental issues and every time you say something to them, well, no matter what you say, you know this, no matter what you say, it's going to be twisted around. So you have to know that ahead of time when you go into this person and almost rehearse ahead of time so that you can get a peaceful resolution with this person. If
you mean
gonna-
as a coach?
Yes.
And now, this is the way I do it.
Wait, let me finish.
I have-
Let me
okay.
finish. Here's my point.
Okay.
I agree, getting out the system. But if you don't know there's another system, and you haven't prepared yourself mentally, physically, you are going nowhere. You'll sit there and constantly complain and say, I ain't got it. How many people in America do we have?
But that doesn't mean the system
Is
doesn't
this the
exist.
first-
That's what we're saying. You
Yeah.
have to come outside. Of,
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
I-
But is this the first conflict that we've ever seen?
Oh no.
No, it won't be the last.
No, and it won't be the last.
What was the response to the past conflicts?
That's exactly.
We got
what
in
we're
and got it
saying.
done.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
But that's
Yeah.
what we're going to do
Yeah.
again.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen
as an
again.
individual-
I believe
right,
that.
How?
It is going to happen again, but I can make the determination today, based on what happened to me then, that that's not going to happen this time.
Right.
You're saying
Yeah.
individually to yourself.
Individually to
I was a
myself.
single
So-
parent.
That's the start.
and
But that's the
raised
start.
three
where
kids.
was
So
I,
yeah,
where was
I understand.
when this happened? I didn't have no money in the bank. I had no looking to nothing in the future to say that I could make more money. I had no plan of action for any. That's not going to happen again. So simply start with savings or making a plan or making a commitment to yourself. This will never happen to me again. And if it does, I'll be prepared in this way. And this is what strategy is. What are your strategies? What are you thinking about? This is my strategy for dealing with this. And this is how I'm going to do it. And this is how I'm going to get it done. Most people don't, a lot of business people don't have strategies. You talk to them, I want to make a lot of money. How?
Right,
I got
right.
a good idea. So what you going to do with the idea?
Exactly.
And my idea is the best idea. Oh, everybody believes their idea is the best idea.
Just the vision, no.
Just the vision, right?
Exactly.
Right, and most of them don't have vision; they just have an idea.
Exactly.
You know, and so that's what I'm saying. And it's nothing wrong with that because everything starts with an idea.
Right.
Exactly.
What's wrong is that they never get past that.
Yeah, they didn't get off the starting
Right,
line.
They don't get off the starting
See,
block.
I don't want to say I'm playing devil's advocate. 'Cause I ain't playing.
No,
But you are. But you are.
I know.
But you
check
are.
this out.
But it's good.
Remember
But it's
9/11?
good.
Remember
It's good.
9/11? Remember
It's good.
9/11?
Right.
The churches were full. Everybody
Right.
was all full. Lord God, forgive me.
Right.
Right? Because they thought that people were scared because you didn't hear no airplanes in the sky no more. People were afraid. When it was over and they saw that it was safe, they went right back to their lives.
Well, look, during 9/11, I lost one of the biggest training contracts I had, the Department of Navy, right there in Washington D.C. Everybody forget that they all talk about the buildings in New York,
Right.
but they forget about that Washington D.C. was bombed as well. I lost one of the biggest contracts I had. It took me 2 years to come back from 9/11. But I did. You know what I did? I reached back to what I did when I first started. And start doing it all over again
Because it worked the first
I wasn't too proud
time.
to beg, you
Right,
know. It's like,
right.
you know, right? Because by then I knew that I had the skill, so I just, you know. So all I'm saying, and I hope people know I'm not judging people because I know everybody's life is not the same, and we, you know. But let me tell you, when you have a mindset that says this is not going to happen to me, and not in this way, I can't control whether there's another 9/11. Exactly. All I can control is how my life is going to be when it happens. It might wipe me out and a whole family and it's all gone. But then just in case it doesn't, this is my plan and these are my strategies.
That's your plan.
And there's no one man in the White House in Washington, D.C. is going to wipe me and my family off the map just by 2 months of not giving me a paycheck. That's all I'm saying.
So it's not
when
him,
we know it can happen, I'm not blaming.
Short version, stop living paycheck to paycheck. That's what she's saying.
Develop some control over your own life is what I'm saying. I'm not going to play the blame game because I know how that comes back on you. Because a lot of people can justify, you know, well, this happened to me or that has. So I know how people justify. Yeah,
this paycheck's gonna always be here.
Can I give myself a plug? Yeah. I do free this. I do free, and I want him to know. He said, "How do they get started?" I do free business analysis. They can go to my website and answer these questions, and then I do a 20-minute consultation with them. And if I don't think I can help them, I will point them in the right direction. I don't have a problem with saying you should go to this and do that. I never leave a person with like, oh, I can help you. No, that's not my style. Once I see what they're and I help them see what the problem is, because people don't always know what the problem is. They don't know what the problem is. And so during that consultation time, I can direct them in the right direction. And it may not be me. I can't help everybody. I'm not
okay, Ms. Lynn,
but you know what? Wait a second. While we're hot on this one there. Okay, they got their pens and paper out. So before I forget this, give them the hookup of how they can catch up with you. We're going to come back and do that again. But tell them how they can reach you for that consultation.
Go to the website, Business Development for Success, www.businessdevelopmentforsuccess.com.
Slow that again. Slow down.
Business.
For you guys right now. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
www.business, spell business out, BUSSINESS, development for FOR success.com. I am there to help people and businesses, entrepreneurs and business owners be successful.
Okay, go ahead, guys.
Wait a minute. Let me say this real quick, please, because we got a little bit of time. Now, real situation. What things is going on, most of us, almost all of us, credit is so jacked up.
That's real.
I'm asking you just to give us something to go on with that, because I'm sure people listening saying, man, my credit's this. You know what I mean? So how do we give us a little something with that?
You're talking to me?
Yeah.
Well, if credit is the problem and credit is jacked up, that's where we start.
Okay.
We need to do something about getting that credit right, or getting some. They can even get loans. People with bad credit can get loans. They pay a little bit more for the money, but get the money when you don't need it. And you're going to pay it back. Use the money you just borrowed to pay back the loan and establish the credit.
Okay.
Did y'all hear that?
How do you walk through that? Give us an example of how to walk through that.
This is what I'm
go ahead. I like that. Go ahead. Expound.
Because there are lenders out there, and I can't name them off.
I got you.
That will loan you money when you have bad credit. They will. Your interest rate will be a little bit higher, but please don't borrow the money and go spend the money.
Right.
What you want to do is establish a history of repaying it.
Right.
So use the money money you borrowed to repay that loan, and then do it again. Or once you repay that loan, you can get a credit card.
Right.
Don't go, use the credit card, but don't go run it all up where you can't pay it, and then pay it monthly. You're reestablishing your credit. All they want to see is, yes, you might have had a bankruptcy. Yes, you might have had bad credit. But now look, that person they've been paying their bills on time for a year. Yes, I'll make you a loan. So you have to be, I don't care how you slice it, you're responsible.
Yeah.
You're responsible.
In this system,
that was the question I was.
in this system, because I remember I paid off all my debts in 2000. I had a $10,000 credit card. That was one of them. Not counting the 15 other ones
You
I
mean
had.
$10,000 balance?
I had a $10,000 limit
Line of
on
credit.
my
Line of credit.
Oh, line of credit, because
Right.
you made it, a lot of people don't even use their line of credit.
Yeah,
Right.
But here's my only point.
Okay.
I paid off all my debts in 2000. You were talking about establishing yourself in the credit. You got to understand the game, or the system. You know, even though I paid off all my debts, I was paying cash for everything. I had to reestablish myself.
You have to reestablish.
You
That's
have
why I
to
say
reestablish yourself.
Yeah, of
if
course.
you have to reestablish yourself because you have a credit line. A lot of people never even use the credit line, so that's not looked at as
Right.
You have
No,
to
it
have
was an
a
independent
history.
credit card.
You have to have. As a matter of fact, once you do that, people just start sending you credit
That's
cards,
correct.
and then
That's
people go
correct.
crazy with the credit
Right,
cards.
right,
Exactly.
right.
That's not the thing to do. Be
Exactly.
deliberate. You have to be deliberate about it. And I recommend people work with a financial person
Mm-hmm.
so that they can lead you down the path to getting your credit right
Exactly.
and to make sure that you reestablish yourself.
Hmm.
Because a lot of people get those credit cards and then they're in worse condition.
Than they were before.
Than they
You're right.
were
You're
before.
right. But that's
I
all.
just
it-
wanted to say that we have to change. Our paradigm has to change about how we see our finances. I always say at the end of your last name, put CO. You're a business.
Oh, okay.
You are a business, and you have to approach things from a business perspective. You know, and understand business principles and principles for success.
And if you can't do it on your own, you get a business coach.
No, that's real. That's real.
Well, see, that's what I
That's
was
real.
going to say.
You gotta
Yeah.
get a coach.
Yeah. So no, I'm appreciating you guys bringing it, but like I said, Linda, thanks for coming in because Linda is our expert. She's our
Yes,
resident
thank
expert,
you.
and so hopefully, like I said, as long as your schedule allows you, Linda, we would like to see
You
your
want to
face in
invite
place.
me back? You guys want me back?
I'm getting your card after this. What are you talking
You see him
about?
shaking his head. I got that on camera. Yeah. So no, we need that. We need that because you're right. My credit, like I said, I haven't used it, man, in like maybe 8 years because I was cash and carry. So I didn't have bad credit when I went out. So when I come back in now, and I'm like, oh, I got great credit. They're like, I got to start all over again. You got to get established. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna hold off on that, man, because I don't feel like, you know what I'm saying, thinking this through because it's not fair.
Yeah, they want to put
But
that
you're right.
noose on you real quick.
That's
you
correct.
got to have a
You
little
gotta
something
have-
around your neck.
Because cash
before
is
they
always
work with
king
you.
to me, and it always worked because when I
Yeah.
walked in somewhere with cash, they gave me the discounts, heavy discounts.
Oh, yeah.
So when I come in there with credit now, you're the same
charge
old
you
kind of
more.
thing. So but I got to do that.
But think about the people in the situations they were in if their credit was already established.
Right.
Yeah, that they would not have been in the situations, or at least it wouldn't have been as bad.
That's correct, uh-huh.
Or, as you said, if they had a large amount of cash, which that's a little bit harder for people to do,
Right.
in the bank.
Right,
If you're-
right.
Yeah, but living from paycheck to paycheck without a plan,
Right.
without a goal, without knowing what's next, with the next in the next tragedy or big whatever happens, it may not be Trump. It may be something we can't avoid.
Right,
Yeah.
It may be an unavoidable something that
Right.
knocks you. Then what happens?
Yeah, you're back in the
Yeah.
same. It's a mind.
Yeah.
It's a mind
Plant that
change.
garden, people. Plant that
Yeah.
garden.
So
Plant that garden.
So we're getting ready. We're getting ready to wrap up. So Carrie, you got to talk about what you do. I mean, give that little 2-minute plug. How they can catch you, what you do, and then wrap yourself up.
Okay,
in about 2
basically, I don't like to talk about myself, but you can.
really?
Right.
I'll talk about you. But
Do Carrie Sims. Okay, saying this. Okay.
Carrie Sims is CarySimms at iCloud.com or Instagram, Focus Entertainment. Carrie Sims. That's what I'm going to give you right now. How you can reach me.
Out of 500.
I'm not going to give you my phone number.
Well, why not?
But anyway, here's the thing.
That bill.
Besides a professional saxophonist, we do production, music production, we do entertainment production, we do everything dealing with media from red carpets to short films to you name it. artist development. We do all those things. So, to preaching the gospel, to teaching the gospel, to various things. There's talented people over here with Simcoe. That's my last name, Sims Co.
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
No, I appreciate it. Come on, Box, talk about it. And tell us what you're doing and how do you reach you?
Wow. It's a whole lot, but
we got a little time,
I'm gonna give you a little bit,
right.
But people know me as Box out there. A lot of them don't know me as Troy. But look, I still talk about TGFB. It's called the Grown Folks Band. It's really not a band. It's an organization that I'm making for professional entertainers and professional audio engineers that's not doing anything. Mm-hmm. And so what I would like for you to do is call, I was going to say call me, but
go ahead and
no. But here you go. BOXX09@gmail.com.
Perfect.
Okay.
I got you. Okay, now we got...
Get off that couch and come see me.
Okay, we got Dorian Edwards online. Dorian, how you doing, sister?
Oh, I know Dorian.
Hey, Dorian, you there?
Hey, how everybody doing?
Oh, we all good. We're all good.
Right,
hey, what's happening out there in the entertainment world, Dorian? Talk about it.
Right now, they're trying to get everything together for the Stellar Award that's going in Las Vegas. That's the last year they're going to have it there.
Uh-huh.
Working on trying to get all that together.
You got to speak up, Dorian. Speak up a little bit. Speak up a little bit more for you.
So you can't hear? Oh.
No, not as much. Speak it up.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Stay that level. Thanks.
Right now, they're working on trying to get the Stellar Award together, which was the last year is going to be held in Las Vegas. Trying to get all that together, and they're asking for new singers that would like to participate, and they're doing a showcase for new singers that want to participate there that day before the Stellar Award. I do have a flyer for that. I would have to get that information to you.
Yeah. And I'll get it out.
Deadline on that.
Okay.
The Stellar Award is March 27, I think, 27, 28.
Okay.
There's a pre-award, and then that's the day of the Stellar Award.
All right. So we'll make sure and get that to our guests or whatever. But Lady D is one of our consultants in the music aspect, the entertainment aspect, and she comes on the show and talks about that part. But although we started late and everything's crazy today, Lady D, I appreciate you. You just had a birthday, too. Happy birthday from us.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. My birthday was Tuesday.
Yeah, grand sister. So I'm going to make sure these guys put some money in a check and put it in the mail. You know, so send you a card. Send you a card, stuff like that. Yeah, we got you. We love you. Thanks for even coming with us today. And we're going to follow up on Stellar and bring them into it. And I know we're looking for doing the media aspect, too, so we'll talk about that more offline. But, Lady D, thanks for giving us a call today. And we look possibly for you to be able to get back on, spend some more time with us next week, all right?
Oh, by all means. Love you, by all means.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate you. Love you. All right, ladies and gentlemen, that was Lady D. She is our entertainment specialist here on the Gospel Jazz Connection. And like I said, this is the Gospel Jazz Connection. Now, before we leave here, I got to get that comment from our resident expert who has now agreed to have her name tattooed to the back of the chair she's sitting at. So, yeah. So we're going to hold you to that. You got it. We got that on tape. So, Linda, go ahead and just take us out and give us, wrap up what they need to do.
Well, I want to say to all the people who were out of their jobs and who had faced hardship and who may still be facing hardship, that you're not to blame. But I do want you to look into the mirror and see your own power, because there's power in numbers. There is power in you realizing and understanding that no one can control your life but you truly, other than God. And there is no one man that should be able to shut down everybody the way he's done over these last few weeks. So I want you to stand up and embrace your power and know that you are powerful and that you're never going to allow yourself to be controlled. You may find yourself in that situation or similar situations, but you don't have to suffer the same consequence. You can make that decision tonight.
I appreciate you, Linda. And like I said, you've been listening to the Gospel Jazz Connection. I'm D Nice. I hope you enjoyed your time with us, and I hope that we were able to give you some Bible solutions. Now, we brought enough conflicts, and we know what's happening around us, but people are asking, how do I get beyond that? And these guys on the panel gave us some good information. We've had some advocacies coming to give us the pros and cons. We've had Linda that was able to come in and tell us from a point of how to counsel yourself and bring the coaching into it. And like she says, everybody needs a coach. Believe me, whether it's basketball, football, whether it's sports and entertainment, I don't care what you're in, everybody needs a coach. She's one of the best. We go way back like peanut butter and jelly. And I know what she's able to do. She's got a resume that reads like a who's who, but we will get to find that more as she's week by week coming in, letting you guys more about it. But think coaching. She gave you the information. So, you know what I'm saying? Get your emails out and hit her up. And this is D Nice, and I say each and every week, you know, to just put God first, and everything will follow. I guarantee it. Until next week, this is the Gospel Jazz Connection, where you can sit back, relax, and watch with your ears.